starting to separate out because at the end of week 3, these two teams were part of a 4-way tie for first place, and as you can see now, they're 6 points apart. In fact, 4K fourth and 4 head is tied with another team for first, and Spherefinity is tied with another team for third right now.
Yeah,
so already we see diverging routes. Ooh,
yeah,
sab0tender finds Paradox Cave.
Yeah, it looked like Ack was just going for some early bombs that are pretty much guaranteed if you go to those bushes. So now he can do back of escape right away when he's sailing quicker to Sanctuary and yeah, get free locations right away. Sounds like a pretty good deal. We'll see where sab0tender goes from here.
Ooh, Silver's in the back of escape. That's sure nice to get out of the way early.
Yeah, for sure. You just need that bow to combine them with.
Or at least some weapon other than the single bomb that sab0tender has.
Mm-hmm. A pretty convenient place to have Sanctuary in order to get that whole hand. Just get some early money, so maybe he can buy some bombs if he finds a shop, or at the very least have enough money for bottle vendor whenever they go to Kakariko.
And meanwhile, Sapo's successfully farmed a few bombs here. Axe now discovering Paradox Cave.
Yeah, it looked like sab0tender was farming for those bombs just in order to have enough to do. Oh, I thought it was gonna go right back to the Paradox Cave. Yeah.
So that other entrance that both of the runners have been in, is that the bottom of Spiral Cave?
Yeah, I think so. I didn't get a good look at it, but I believe so.
I saw some mini Moldorms and some Barries.
Mm-hmm, yeah, there should be it then. So yeah, Paradox 7 items,
including
one of which
Moon
is
Pearl.
Moon Pearl. Yeah, that seems like a pretty good early item to have. That Moon Pearl can be pretty hard to get by sometimes, but yeah, early Moon Pearl, that's really good for sab0tender. And I bet Ack is gonna go back there as soon as he has some kinds of weapon.
Health's certainly nice this early. Sabo just has to dodge the mini Moldorms because he has no weapon.
Yeah, managed to get all the chests out of the way, so that's the most important part. Ack in the meanwhile didn't find much, but he did find a shop, so he was able to get some bombs for his own. I mean, that's an early connector there in Eastern, but Ack is deciding to leave that one be for now. Doesn't really know if it's a connector he can... It isn't guaranteed that he can get back, I guess, so he's just leaving that one behind for now.
And sab0tender finds his silvers. Oh, does Zach not have enough money to play the archery game? Because I was thinking that would be a good way to farm rupees, but...
Yeah, he should have, for sure. He might not just value the time effort at the moment. He definitely has enough for the bottle vendor, so I guess that's the most immediate that he would need money for. So I kept pretty well in Sanctuary, so that's nice. As soon as they get a glove.
And I guess we'll find out soon what AGA1 is locking in place of the Lumberjacks today.
Yeah, that's always interesting question. You have about a 1 in 8 chance of it being Ganon.
Whoa, there's Ice Palace in the Lumberjacks hut.
Yeah, we saw the thief here.
Lost Woods Hole.
Mm-hmm. And it's just a heart piece, so if we need to beat AGA1, it's not for that. It's pretty unlikely AGA1 will be required at this point then.
Well, depending where AGA1 is, it could still theoretically be Dark World access, but very unlikely.
Yeah, that's possible, but it's quite unlikely. And even if that's the case, it's pretty likely we could sequence break it somehow.
Well, the red meringue sitting in the mushroom spot. And we have Uncle in the Lost Woods.
Ooh, and he has our boots.
That is a very nice early find.
Yeah. Wow. I gotta say, the more and more I see these entrance races in the league so far, the more excited I am to play them, because I see early boots in every single race I'm watching, so I can't wait to get that. They're a pretty convenient place to get boots too. You have the Bonkrogs, just like east of here.
And Axe just found Ice Palace as well.
He read a sign, he didn't like it, threw it at a pickle, and moving on. Hey, we have Hera in the Bonkrogs, so those boots ping off right away.
Wow, this area is just loaded. Unfortunately, we don't have the big key or the or a fire source, so this chest up top is the only other one we can get.
Mm-hmm.
And it's also worth noting that hints are not enabled for cross keys. That's why sab0tender was going right by the tile.
Mm-hmm.
I'm sure it's on the developer's list.
Yeah, there is hints in progress. I think they're in beta testing at the moment. Just not implemented to the site yet.
There's a nice cache source. What was that, King's Tomb?
Yes. Makes sense. You find a lot of money in the King's Tomb.
And there's an entrance to Turtle Rock.
Yeah, and there's another entrance to Turtle Rock.
So Kakariko clearly has the secret to Turtle Rock, and if sab0tender's feeling suicidal, he can attempt Laser Bridge. Honestly, since there's the save and continue option, it shouldn't be that bad.
Yeah, like even if you take a death, like it's not too bad of a deal. So with these two entrances to Turtle Rock combined, we can get 6 items already from Turtle Rock. Start with a vanilla small key. That's pretty cool.
Ooh, didn't quite line himself up right for that.
Yeah, getting a little bit bullied at the moment from the lasers. kind of dashed through the laser and then was gonna go back down again, but just went back down a little bit too soon. Ooh, sword. Now that's a pretty good prize.
Yeah, finally a non-exhaustible weapon.
Yeah, it's only 10 minutes in. We have boots, we have moon pearl, we have sword. This it's turning out to be a lovely evening so far.
I didn't see what the top chest was. Did you see it?
I'm not sure. I think it might just have been money. We'll see it from Ack. Oh,
I mean,
Ack
hey, we've got
going
Zora
with a
money
bomb
now.
turn. Yeah, we're getting a lot of early money.
Ooh, and fire rod in, I guess we would call that Lumberjack Cave anyway?
Yeah. Seems like a fair description of it. Just ended up being somewhere else.
Bottle merchant selling a pod key today. That's worth it.
Hey, and now that we have a fire rod and a sword, all we need is a small key and we can beat this dungeon. It's unfortunate, not gonna work out as it normally does in a game mode where you can just go out again and go into the other part of Skullwoods to grab that small key, because yeah.
Unless you
Not gonna be
happen to
that
find
simple.
the other part of Skullwoods. But that pod
Mhm.
big key is nice because that can be something you wind up searching for a long time.
Yeah, for sure. I'm gonna be on the lookout for as many keys as possible. Just to make sure that those double dips into dungeons, if we can minimize them as much as possible, that would be preferable. So Ack with the fire rod and getting that small key as well. He's gonna head back into Tart Rock in the other entrance here and get those last two chests that they can get at the moment.
Wow, we're just finding dungeon after dungeon here.
Yeah, speaking of, here we go.
Yeah, now, the
tower.
interesting thing is GT isn't necessarily required in Cross Keys. They just need to collect the 7 crystals, and then if they can find Ganon, they can defeat Ganon.
Exactly. I think at the moment there's 3 drop downs that we haven't seen yet. Whoa, there's a hook shot. So yeah, there is a possibility of Ganon being vanilla, in which case Ganon's tower would be required, but if they don't have to, if they can get the crystal and beat Ganon, yeah, they don't have to beat Ganon.
Now, that was kind of interesting, though, that, you know, without the Cane of Samaria or the hammer, there are only 3 other items you can get in GT, but when one of them's the hook shot, it's totally worth it.
Yeah, for sure. And there we do have Find Ganon as well, so you know where to find him.
And there's the other side of Spectacle Rock Cave.
A big key in desert on the torch, and it's the eastern big key. Wow, so we had the spectacle rock drop down in the smith house, and then it just led to another part of Kakariko.
And Sabo's going to do the same thing in desert now. Did Ack check either of the other exits from desert? No,
I don't
he death
know.
warped out.
He took the death warp and just left.
It's
So
surprising
we might
because
see it here from sab0tender.
yeah, there are 3 exits. You'd think you'd want to see where the other 2 go.
Yeah, it's like a weird thing when you go into Kakariko. Probably you're quite likely to find a lot of these places where it's like they have multiple exits, so they might just go for checking out all the entrances first before taking connectors to different parts of Hyrule. But we are gonna see one of those exits here from sab0tender. And
Vanilla.
wow, okay, that's pretty vanilla.
Sabo forgets he doesn't have the glove.
Yeah, no gloves, but since we're already here in desert, might as well check out some other things here.
Oh, definitely. And cue Ack and hookshot in about 5 seconds. Was that Mimic Cave in a Gina spot?
I didn't manage to get a glimpse of it, I'm afraid. But according to chat, that was Mimic Cave, yeah.
Oh, and Sabo discovers the front of Escape.
Yeah, they reworked the dam a little bit. It's a lot bigger than it looks from the outside. With this fighter sword, we get to do almost a NMG escape here. We even have a boomerang, is the wrong color.
Ack now knows where Ganon is.
sab0tender picking up a fairy there. They might want to go for a death warp soon though, so they might end up regretting that. It didn't give them too much health though, so I guess it doesn't matter too much.
With 5 hearts and ball and chain guard,
I'm
not
the
too
death warp
worried about that.
Probably gonna be pretty fast no matter what.
Oh yeah, so Ack's giving us our first look at South Cac. sab0tender did not go down here.
Ooh, it finds a dam, so that's gonna be pretty nice for when they do get to South Shore, where sab0tender is right now.
Oh, the desert key, so now Sabo can go back into desert and check the 2 chests on the right side.
And meanwhile, it looks like we have a hype cave here with a book to start off with.
That's some good hype.
Yeah. Small key to hair, we know what that is, and we do have the fire source and a bottle as well.
That's a solid 5, I'd say.
Yeah, it definitely has potential to give them something else too. sab0tender managing to get the fairy out of the bone rocks without breaking the rocks.
Sab0tender is thinking. And Sabo's giving us our first look at the Dark World.
Yeah, we do have the Moon Pearl, so might as well use to explore the Dark World.
Have to be a bit careful with only 5 hearts.
Yeah, especially in Greenmail, a lot of the things in Dark World will hurt pretty badly. Ooh, we found a part of Bumper Cave, and that part you can actually go through if you have the hookshot. You can just hookshot through the bumper.
And the Drained Swamp just gave us Ether Medallion.
So Ack is gonna head into the Dark Sewers here as well. Just have the fire run. Makes it a lot easier to check this, and took a little bit of intentional damage, it looked like, in order to take a death warp here soon. But well, gets a heart refill instead. Just saves and quit instead. Starts at Link's house, and he's not going to be too far away from Hyrule Castle anyways. So sab0tender found another entrance into Turtle Rock. I did not quite catch where it was, but it's could be a pretty important one, because that's the only entrance that can give you that big chest. So yeah, arguably the most important entrance into Turtle Rock. So both our runners pretty much just catching up a little bit on what the other one did earlier. We'll see where sab0tender decides to head after this. Takes the death warp, so we will be able to see where this entrance was, because it's gonna be an important one to remember. Okay, it was a fortune teller north of Village of Outcast, and speaking of Village of Outcast, let's go in there.
And we have Ice Rod Cave.
Speaking of ice.
Wow, that was some serious swag on Ack's part.
Yeah, frozen guards works just as well as pots, I guess. Maybe not the most time efficient.
Since he does have blue mail, he's having a bit more trouble setting up the death warp. And in place of chest game, just a fairy.
So one way or another, sab0tender is about to find a couple of items here, because the NPCs in the overworld is not randomized in entrance shuffle, so we are going to be able to do both Stumpy and the game. And Ack is going to use that book that he got from Hype Cave in order to see what's in the entrance of the Desert Palace.
How many digs do we think it'll be today? Why did he just pray twice?
Maybe he's like extra religious or something. Oh, there's a hammer from the dig game. That's a huge find.
Yeah, so now theoretically sab0tender could go back to Mimic Cave if he happens to be in the area. We still haven't seen any gloves. Ooh, and Stumpy has a Quake medallion.
Yeah, the gloves can be pretty elusive sometimes, just because of the fact that we might not need them for Dark World access, as sab0tender is showing off here. I guess like the only hard requirement for gloves in this mode would be if Ice Palace is a crystal, or if like a dungeon or an item is underneath a rock.
sab0tender finds the potion shop.
Hey, and now we know where the last part of Desert led to.
Well, hopefully, yes, looks like Sabo does remember that he now has a key and can go check these two chests.
Meanwhile, Axe set up a death orb while checking this chest, so he can just take a quick return trip again.
And all that for some sticks.
Mm-hmm. sab0tender, meanwhile, did get a small key to Ganon's tower. Now that we have that hammer, we could go all the way to Ice Hours if we wanted to, by going full left. So that's that's a lot of chests.
Yeah, I guess that's 14 chests, because we already did 3 checks, and there are 5 we're locked out of on the right side, but that leaves 14.
Mm-hmm. And Ack's actually going into Ice Palace, which interesting play. He's not gonna be able to check all too many locations in here. I think it's 3, 4 maybe. Yeah, 4 chests in total.
He doesn't have the big key, so 3.
Oh yeah. No, I think it's still 4.
sab0tender finds Meyer.
Yeah, and he's gonna head in as well.
Was that a vanilla compass?
It wouldn't surprise me. The entrance shuffle or key sanity in general just likes to put compasses in the vanilla dungeons for some reason.
But I think it even said Ice Palace.
Oh, did it? Instead of this dungeon?
Yeah. Unless I was misreading it as it went by quickly, because yes, I would have expected it to say this dungeon, but I thought I read Ice Palace specifically. Yeah, it is the compass for ice, because now you can see the item count on Ack's screen.
Yeah, so one way or another, since we know where the hammer is, Ack is not going to be able to complete this, but he might still get something good out of this. And sab0tender, unfortunately, took a death, didn't have enough health to do the spike chest.
Oh yeah, I forgot that, speaking of spike chest, I forgot that that spike room chest isn't hammer locked, so yes, you were right, there are 4 chests that Ack can check. But the 4th one is iced tea, so that's gonna be a hike.
Didn't do the bomb jump, most likely because he didn't expect to find enough items in here to be able to complete the dungeon, so at least that makes the trip over a little bit faster. And I think he's setting up a death warp here.
Makes sense. Meanwhile, sab0tender's going to the Vanilla Big Key location in Meyer. Guess he enjoys World's Longest Cutscene.
Yeah, it's like super cinematic. This is some next level cinematics. So where is Ack gonna go from here? Looks like he might be going into Desert to check those connectors, and he's gonna find the Dark World as well. And yeah, he's gonna do the chest here first. I forgot he didn't do that. So let's see if we can do this spike chest again. It's barely, but it was not really worth it.
Yeah.
Not really anything in Meyer or Ice Palace.
Well, if Sabo can go get another heart container in the blue mail, he might actually be in position to do a bit of Ice Palace. Though fighting Cold Stare would still be a tall order.
Yeah, he wouldn't be able to do much more else than Act though, because you still need the gloves as well.
Oh, right, there's that block in the same room with the hammer requirement. You don't think about which palaces are glove-locked on the inside.
Yeah, you don't... Something you don't need to worry about too much of the time, because usually you have Titansmiths when you go to Ice Palace. That's one of the reasons why this game mode kind of becomes a little bit like inverted, because you get to do some of these dungeons in low percent strat before you get the items you should have.
Speaking of things that are usually glove-locked, though, Catfish is actually accessible now thanks to the boots.
I don't think so, or I think you always need the gloves up there.
Oh. I thought you could bonk your way over.
Maybe. Not that I know of, at least.
Okay, maybe I'm misremembering. I thought with the hammer and the boots, you could get up there.
I think we can get up to the Dark Wood Shop. There's a couple of bonk rocks on the way to Catfish, but there's also a big rock before that one, unfortunately.
Ooh, Sabo takes a death.
Yeah, Ack is pretty close to that as well right now. Unless he is careful for the rest of his minor trip here.
Hey, I was just thinking we haven't seen any fake flipper yet.
Yeah, it might be something that they're thinking of in the future, especially since they have the Sora money.
Yeah, and Hobo's still gonna have an item in Hobo location.
Looks like sab0tender is gonna head for that. Ganon's turn now. Gonna be able to go full left all the way to Ice Armos.
And with that nice red boomerang, only 48 hits to beat each Ice Armos.
Yeah, might want to go for the sword or hammer at that point. Can save the magic to use the fire rod on the last one as well.
And there is Arcane of Samaria.
Ooh, okay, so what sab0tender want to do here is probably go right to the compass just first. Because if he goes full left now, he's not going to have a small key in order to go to the right side. It looks like he might just be thinking of that. Yeah, he's just going to skip that chest for now. So he will have that small key for the compass chest.
Wonder if he'll do Tile Room while he's at it.
I wouldn't surprise me if he do.
I mean, it's just as likely to have an item as everything else.
Yeah, exactly. That cane also does give us more access into Turtle Rock, and we do have a lot of small keys for Turtle Rock already.
It also gives access to Vitreous, though with Fighter Sword and no bow. What do you do? Hammer strats?
Yeah, hammer source, I guess. We would need the big key first, though.
Oh, right, forgot about that.
Yeah, it's not key sanity unless you forget about the keys at least once. I think that's a required thing when it comes to key sanity.
And even though both of our runners have picked up a number of maps, neither of them has actually done a map check to see if we can identify any crystals or rule out any dungeons.
So it looks like sab0tender is going to go with the hammer strats here to begin with at least. It's a little bit tricky doing hammer strats, so if they end up taking some damage, they might just start using the sword instead to have a little bit more of a reach, or just go for some boomerang hits as well. The boomerang is safe, but it's super slow.
How many hammer hits does it take to defeat each Armos?
I'm not sure. It might be... I want to say 8, but it might be more.
He got the nice stun lock where if that Armos can't get into place, the rest of them can't move.
Yeah. So just 20 more minutes and he will have this. Hey, we got one Armas down. Unfortunately, that means the rest of them is moving now.
And he's down to 2 hearts and green mail.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's gonna have to be careful. I'm surprised he's not using his sword or anything. Like the boomerang is for sure safer. But the sword is pretty safe as well, because you can just spin and slash them away as well.
A lot of work for 3 chests.
Yeah, better be something good behind here. I bet that bow is gonna be on the compass chests. Akka's gonna head in here as well to see if he decides to go for the same strats, or what he'll do here after finding the Kingdom of Mario. May even go to the right side first.
I love the Ether Stalfos kill. I guess the logic is you can't freeze them because they're bones anyway.
Something along those lines. These crack when you freeze them. Oh, there was a big key to skull was in that chest. Interesting. And Ack is going full left, opening up that door, so that's interesting. He's not gonna have enough keys to go to the compass chest after this, unless he happens to find a vanilla one. Ooh, one more hit there for sab0tender, so can only take 2 more hits, or it'll technically only one.
And he's really got to be... Now he's on his last...
Yeah, this is scary at this point.
Gonna be a big time waste if he dies here.
Yeah, that would be super unfortunate to go all the way here and for that to happen. Okay, has one more down. It's gonna have to be careful when the red one activates to be ready to just keep that one.
And of course, the red one goes back to full health when it becomes red.
Yeah, it does. Unless he managed to get a quick kill with the boomerang, but that seems pretty unlikely.
Yes, if he's gotten exactly 47 hits on it so far.
Oh, okay.
Well, let's see how
Ack used the sword. It's like Ack is going with the sword shred as well. And sab0tender just need to repeat this non-stop until
is it also 48 hits with... No, he got it. Wow.
Yeah,
nice
the sword
job.
is a lot more effective than the boomerang. Hey, flippers. Okay, that's nice.
That was worth it, assuming the bow isn't anywhere convenient. I mean, if the bow's on right side, then both of the runners are gonna feel silly.
Yeah, especially Ack, because he doesn't have a key for the right side. Yeah, we can see here Ack going with the full sword strat definitely gained a lot of time on sab0tender.
Wow, fire rod strats, nice.
And Ack didn't even do tile room. He's just leaving that one as well.
Well, now the runners really ought to do Zora and Hobo, and it looks like Ack's doing that now. Nothing in tile room for all that.
Okay, so Ack is gonna head down to Lake Hylia. We are playing in the Lake Hylia division after all. Seems fitting. I think the runners should be forced to stay there the entire seed. Just work it out from.
Ooh, Desert Big Key, so if Desert is a crystal, Ack's gonna need to do right side GT sometime.
Yeah, we don't know where the back of Desert is yet, but we do have access to the big chest.
Well, since I don't remember what maps the runners have gotten and neither of them has done a map check regardless, we don't even know whether Desert's a crystal or a pendant. But there is the big chest in Desert that can now be checked.
Mm-hmm. And Ack finding Pod here in the Light World shopping mall and getting a big key from Meyer right away, so that's a dungeon we can actually complete now. So that's going to be a single dip for Ack whenever he finds that. So after sab0tender did the right side again as Tardo, and didn't go back for the firebar chest, which had the big key for Skullwoods. Might not be anything important, since that is not necessarily required, but it is an isolated check for now. Oh, and Ack already did it, my bad.
And Sabo's gonna get his Meyer big key, I'm guessing.
So Ack did do the bottle glitch in order to save a key. Does mean that he can open up this area here and check some extra chests, but sab0tender will be able to get there as well, because sab0tender already found 3 small keys to Pod. So they don't have the bottle for the glitch, but they can get further than Ack anyways.
And getting to the back is certainly gonna be nice to finally get the Master Sword.
Yeah.
Oh, except Sabo is noping out. That's too bad. He's missing his Master Sword.
Yeah, I mean, it makes sense in one regard. Might not want to open up that middle door in case... yeah, just like save that small key in case you have to beat the dungeon later. But already having 3 small keys, that's a hard proposition to turn down.
Ooh, and we found Mini Moldorm Cave. 5 chests in here.
Ooh, okay. There's a mirror. That's a really nice find.
Yeah.
Ack has to be careful here. He's almost dead in the dark maze.
And with this much money, yeah, Sabo's gonna check Waterfall and Zora. What will 500 rupees get us today?
Better be something good for it being 500 rupees.
A life lesson.
Yeah, seems like a pretty bad deal. They don't want to go back and try to go for the hover at the same time as doing quick swap. No, that's probably just because how it's holding. Anyways, it didn't work out. But he did get the mirror, so that's probably the most important part of this.
And sab0tender's now going back and doing some of the checks that Ack's already done.
Yeah, looks like we're gonna get to see some of the exits here in Hyrule Castle. Ooh, okay. We found the top of Death Mountain, and sab0tender just going down to East Death Mountain now, but that entrance also gives us access to the West Death Mountain as well, since we have the hammer. And hey, here's Blindside. Another 5 more items incoming.
Ooh, a fire shield.
Yeah, also getting their... I think that was sab0tender's first small key to Castle Tower. Which means that whenever we do find where Castle Tower is, it's gonna be access to both of those chests in there.
So Desert is a pendant. Looked like the green pendant, but it was a really quick check.
Yeah, it was too quick for me to see. Ooh, there's our first gloves though.
And we do not have the big key, so we'll only get the front 4 chests here. But now we have the Tower of Hera big key, which makes Hera full clearable.
Yeah, we're starting to get some real value here. We have multiple dungeons that we can well, both full clear and some of them at least complete.
And the all-important swag net.
Like using some of these small keys in order to shake the front of Tartarok. Does still have one more small key left, which means that if he gets the Ice Rod later, he can still beat Trainix.
Just realized, though, that sab0tender never found the book, so we don't get to see what's on Ether Tablet.
Yeah, that was in Hype Cave, and sab0tender has not really explored that area. Yeah, that was just south of Hyrule, well, not Hyrule, but Kakariko. So let's see where the main or the front part of Turtle Rock leads to. Oh, I guess. Did sab0tender not check that? Or did I just miss that? Either way, Ack is up on Death Mountain as well now.
And he'll get his glove.
So it looks like because of how entrance shuffle works, there's always the old man is always on West Death Mountain somewhere. But sab0tender found 2 dark caves up here. So I had to figure out which one was the old man, but it looks like he found the right one now. Okay, we did get a quick map check there again, and Hera is a crystal, so wouldn't be surprised to see a sab0tender head over there soon, seeing as they have the big key for it.
And seeing as how we're just about an hour in and have not seen a single crystal yet.
Yeah, we have potentially the items to get a couple of them. And we might just see our runners start clearing that out soon. Now that some of the main exploring is over with.
Yeah, now that we have the glove, Ice Palace is theoretically beatable.
Yeah, we could get Meyer as well, and Hera. Potentially Desert if we find the back of the entrance. And Skullwood's
Though we know
beatable
Desert's
as
just
well.
a pendant.
So it looks like sab0tender is heading back here into Hera.
Makes total sense.
Oh, and there's our lamp. Not
I was
something
wondering
that
when
we,
that would show up.
yeah, it's not something we necessarily need since we have the fire rod already, but it surely is gonna be nice to have. Make a lot of those dark rooms both easier and faster.
And just over an hour in, we see our first boss.
Yeah. It's gonna be a lot easier to take care of this one than Ice Armors for sab0tender, that's for sure.
Not really a useful prize, but our first crystal.
Yeah, we do get a look here now on the Ether tablet. See if sab0tender left anything behind. Well, it's bombos, so maybe. We don't know yet. sab0tender does have the gloves though, and just remember that we have the Kakariko well in here, so that's another 5 items to get here. Start off with a big key for Turtle Rock, okay. That's nice.
Yeah, now we just need the ice rod to beat Turtle Rock. And a fetch quest.
Ooh, and a bow and half magic. That was a pretty stacked Kakariko well, and now we can beat both Eastern and Pod as well.
Well, in the case of Eastern, we have to find it first, but yes.
Yeah, that's fair.
Hopefully, though, Sabo goes back to Pod soon, since we know there's a Master Sword there.
Yeah, it does have 3 small keys, so could clear everything except for 1 chest, depending on the routing. And since we did see that sab0tender didn't want to open up the middle door earlier, that's the routing that we can assume that they're gonna take whenever they get back there. They might wait until they have 1 more small key, because then they could get all the chests.
Okay, so we have 5-6 crystals in Pod and Ice Palace, and we have crystals in Mire and Skull Wood, so that's all useful information.
Ooh, and Acus did a save and quit to the old man, and that spits them out in Mr. Mire. So that's a lot of entrances.
In terms of Pod... Sorry, in terms of 5-6 crystals, how does Cross Keys Entrance Randomizer handle the location of the bomb shop?
So I kind of missed where the location was.
I don't know where the bomb shop is.
Oh, okay. I thought that was how we got the information.
No, he did a map check. He's collected enough maps.
Okay, that makes a lot more sense then. But yeah, it kind of depends. Sometimes you just have to walk around with a bomb to get to the right location, but if it happens to be in a place where you can't just walk to your destination, you might require the flute in order to open up the pyramid.
So sab0tender got that 4th pod key, and since he has the silvers, Vidi should be pretty easy.
Definitely on a good path here to just clear out a lot of dungeons.
Did Ack find anything in Castle Tower?
Not that I saw. It was like money and something else. Does have the mirror shield though, but he might have gotten that before he went in there. Money and piece of heart apparently. So yeah, that's not super impactful.
we get a very quick job on Vitreous. Nice 0 cycle.
Yeah. And gets rewarded with a crystal as well, which is nice.
Oh, and according to the tracker, sab0tender now has a Skullwoods key, so he could go and beat Skullwoods if he were so inclined.
Yeah. Don't remember where we got that, but... and he is gonna be able to find Hype Cave and the dam and all that active early on, so he's gonna be able to catch up on that as well here.
And speaking of tracker, thank you to our tracker, Frostbite3030, who... Let me tell you, tracking key sanity is not easy, because in addition to the usual tracking duties, you have to keep track of all the keys that the runners have found.
Yeah, for sure. Major shoutouts to Frostbite. And whoa, there's a sword from the dig spot. Now, sab0tender did leave their portal up there at K45 and is actually heading back now, okay. Maybe they just realized that, yeah, they're going back for this portal. Because when they go back to the digging game area, they can mirror up to the back of the race game as well. But we might not even be heading in that direction though.
Okay, chat confirming that Desert is green pendant, which is what I thought I had seen earlier. sab0tender figures.
Yeah, I think that was in Castle Tower. We have Eastern, so that's a nice full clear of a dungeon. sab0tender might even be like fairly close to go mode at this point, depending on what the last crystals are.
Yeah, we don't actually know for sure what... Ooh, powder, nice. If we ever find magic back. But in the meantime, always useful on anti-fairies. But I was about to say, we don't know for sure that Eastern is even a crystal.
Yeah, at this point, it's pretty much a 50-50, so...
Yep.
In worst case scenario, and it turns out to be a pendant, at the very least, sab0tender is gonna get some items in here, and hopefully one of them would be required.
But yeah, if the vanilla entrances to Turtle Rock and Mire aren't blocking anything, and if... Ooh, Swamp Big Key, which is worth 1 chest. But yeah, and if Turtle Rock isn't a crystal, then sab0tender is an item go mode.
Yeah, best case scenario would be Eastern and either Swamp or Feast Town be the last crystals, in which case sab0tender would only be 1 key away from go mode at this point.
Though if it's Swamp, he'd have to find Swamp first.
Yeah. So yeah, in that regard, Feastown would definitely be better. Or even Third Rock is also just one more item to find.
Act does a very nice job on Vitreous, considering he was using Master Sword and Hammer strats.
Yeah, also the spins in the first phase, really nicely done.
Yeah, and he didn't even have the cane or the cape to be invincible while he was doing that. So sab0tender is on his way to a much easier Armos fight now.
Yeah, we got a cape from Bombos. Yeah, that does open up Spike Cave for us.
Well, we also saw Bumper Cave, and we didn't know where it led, so...
Yeah, I think since then we did see the other one.
Oh, okay.
Somewhere up on Death Mountain.
Now it's more of a high Armos by Armos.
Ooh, and it is a crystal, so one way or another, sab0tender is one item or key away from go mode as Ack finds the ice rod, which could be that one item that sab0tender needs for go mode.
But yeah, sab0tender has 3 crystals and has the means to finish off Pod and Ice and knows both of their locations.
Mm-hmm. Ack is gonna go for that Spike Cave now that he has the cape. It's gonna be cutting it pretty close, but he gets 20 rupees from it.
I think he gets it, yeah.
Yeah, he even did a hard reset there to get his magic pad.
Not a bad idea. Well, it looks like now Sabo's gonna do Catfish. Okay, so that was the glove block for getting to Catfish. I forgot about that one. I knew that you could bonk through here, and I knew that earlier you could... On the way to Dark Witch's hut, you can use the hammer instead of the glove.
I think everyone who's beaten Aga has once or twice forgotten about that. Went up to that big rock and being like, oh yeah, right. sab0tender now taking this whirlpool. Gonna go and check out the shop mall here, and could also mirror to a complete pod as well. So it seems like a wise decision. You get some new entrances, and you also get to shake Folk-Fair, a dungeon that has 14 items.
And another pod key, just
wow.
So now he doesn't even have to hammer jump.
Yeah, or just open up the middle door, one or the other. That's super convenient.
We find Sick Kid, but Sabo still doesn't have a bottle.
Oh no. Ack has 3 of them, but Saba hasn't picked up any so far.
Yeah, he never did do stuff like South Kakariko.
Oh, and here's the back of Desert as well. But Saba's gonna win with that. That's a pendant. Meanwhile, Ack is taking on Mafia, doing a little bit of a combination of Master Sword and Hammer Strats here. Who's gonna have to be a little bit careful now, taking a few early hits, but
There he goes.
gets the job done. Yeah, very nice.
And that's his second crystal.
Or pod, so that's our last pod key.
Silver arrows on Guria is a beautiful sight.
And Ack back in Ganna's tower, but it's not gonna be able to go too far to the right here. Just gonna be a tile room check here for like some arrows or something, I think it was.
Yeah, I think it was 10 arrows.
But not checking the right side might not be the end of the world. It was the big key for Desert, and we might not need that. sab0tender is also gonna pick up the tempered sword here, which is gonna be nice to have for the remaining dungeons in Ganon.
Yeah, that'll put him in very good shape for Ganon. Though he could still stand to get that blue mail. I mean, 9 hearts and green mail, you don't have much margin for error facing Ganon.
Yeah. I don't remember where Ack picked up that blue mail.
I believe... Well, I forget the overworld entrance, but the interior was Pyramid Fairy.
I could see a dark maze as well. I did take a death in here, and oh, okay, there's one of the bottles.
Yeah, so maybe we'll see the sick kid check after this, since it's all in the same area. He can just go back to the Dark World.
Mm-hmm. Makes a lot of sense. So Ack went back into Tartarok, but he hasn't picked up that big key for Tartarok yet, so he wasn't able to take care of Trinex, unfortunately, even though he has the Ice Run. Ooh, and there's a big key, but it's for Ganon's tower.
Hey, maybe... Maybe Swamp is the 7th crystal, and the Swamp small key is in Moldorm 2 chest.
that's very possible. It's interesting because I don't think that any of our runners have checked the vanilla uncle location yet. So
that's true.
That one or the pyramid is Magic Bat. So it could potentially be Magic Bat behind the pyramid behind Agatu as well.
The only sab0tender could do Magic Bat now if he found it.
Mm-hmm. So Ag is gonna head into Skullwoods. I don't think we've seen any of our runners go in here yet. But I might be mistaken about that.
That looks surprisingly vanilla.
Mm-hmm. So yeah, the front part of Skullwoods is always going to be kind of vanilla, just because the sheer number of drop-down points just makes it easier to just have them be vanilla. So they're only randomized within themselves.
I see. But the back can still be anything.
Yeah, exactly. And it's a connector to somewhere. Ooh, up to Floating Island.
As I recall, there's a key on the Light World side. I don't know why he's not mirroring to get the key.
Yeah, he might be just heading back into Skullwoods to get the rest of the items first and then be heading back there.
Well, I mean, he was already there. He could have mirrored just to grab it.
Yeah, I definitely agree.
The keys are just another Meyer key. But sab0tender now has his 4th crystal.
Yeah, didn't get too much new here. Did get the potion or the bottle for Sakid, and they get the sword. But most importantly, as you mentioned, he did get another crystal, which is going to be very important.
Ooh, full heart container in Skullwoods. That's a nice find.
Going for some of those hover to see what is in this big chest. It was only 20 rupees, so that's good news for sab0tender, who left that big key behind. Ooh, and there's a small key for Swamp. Okay, that's potentially really good news for sab0tender. Don't know where Swamp is, or if it's even a crystal yet. And sab0tender has not even found the dam yet.
Right, 1 in 3 chance that it's a crystal.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, so we're almost in no mode. We're just missing either a big key for Tartarok or for Feaston, or the entrance for Swamp, or just information where the last crystal is.
A nice full heart pickup by sab0tender.
I think this might be the first time any of our runners has headed into the pod area.
Ack was in the area. He didn't actually get Kiki and go into
I see.
the vanilla entrance to pod. Ooh, and this is going to be our first check, I think, of what would be Sahasrara, but just another shop.
Yeah, speaking of shops, we just found the Big Bomb shop. So that one, you could open up the Pyramid Ferry without the flute. You'd have to make a long trip in the Light World over to the right portal, but it's totally possible to do without the flute.
So what will Kiki grant us access to today for 110 rupees?
So Aga's not been finding too much progression lately. He did get that ice run, which could end up being really important. But he is definitely catching up on the crystals, starting to get a couple of them, and gonna get his third one here real soon. We'll see if Ack can resist doing the Modern 1 hover or not. Looks like he can't. I hope he's gonna fall here. That would be fun. Ah, too bad.
That is crystal number 3 for Ack. Oh, and sab0tender winds up on top of Turtle Rock.
Yeah. I'm just seeing how
which
that
is
works.
vanilla, so if he were to want to open it, which he doesn't really need to.
Yeah, we already know what's in there since he came out of it.
Oh, and here's Gina hiding out on Death Mountain. With his vanilla heart piece. Yeah, so I guess we must have seen the other end of Bumper Cave since Ack isn't interested in going through it.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure we did at some point, and he's gonna do Kakariko well here now, so that's good news. He's gonna get that bow, which is gonna put him into the well, more or less potentially go mode as well.
And the Turtle Rock Big Key.
Oh yeah, exactly.
So now he could beat Turtle Rock.
Mm-hmm. And if that's a crystal, he wouldn't be in go mode, I believe.
Yes, I believe so. But he's collected fewer maps than Sabo, so...
Yeah, that map check that he did right after finding the bow seems to be pretty telling that he also knows that he might be in go mode here, but yep, the lack of map is not guaranteeing anything for us. sab0tender is gonna head into Ice Palace.
Smart move.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's a crystal. We're gonna have to beat it. He just found the bomb drop, so he after beating this, he would be able to check the pyramid even. And I guess the most impactful thing we can find in here would be the big key for Feast Town, in case that's a crystal.
Yeah, he doesn't know that the ice rod's elsewhere, though. Yeah, see, that's what I thought earlier. It said, you have found the compass for Ice Palace, not you have found the compass for this dungeon. I wonder why it gave the message like that.
Pretty weird. I don't think that's how it's supposed to act.
Chat telling us it only does that for keys, that compasses and maps will never say this dungeon on them.
Oh, I see. I've never noticed that before then.
Me neither, so thanks, Asder. Nice clean bomb jump there. And Axe now getting his Swamp Palace small key.
Yeah, so that greatly improves his chances of being in go mode.
It'll be interesting if Swamp Palace turns out to be the 7th crystal, and then go mode consists of finding Swamp and identifying that it's a crystal.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I guess one of the items we might have to find would be Titansmiths, if Swamp were to be in, like, I guess the only one that would be Titansmiths at this point would be Ice Palace. If that vanilla entrance happens to be... Ooh! There's Big Feast on. So we definitely have all the items and keys one way or another.
Yeah, Thieves is short enough. Like, if I'm Sabo, I'm probably thinking, you know, I might just clear Thieves and hope it's a crystal.
Mm-hmm. That would make sense, for sure. He's gonna full clear Ice Palace to begin with, though, just in case he needs the Ice Rod, which makes sense. We know it's not in here, but sab0tender does not know that.
Yeah, but Ice Tea Room is such a pain to get to. Incidentally, we haven't actually found the big key to Ice Palace, so technically clearing it's not in logic.
Yeah, that's true.
But yeah, I'm just thinking, since sab0tender knows where Skullwoods and Thievestown are, if Thievestown is a crystal, we could see the first sub-2-hour seed this week. That's a big if, though.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, like, both of those dungeons are really quick to complete from here on, so if that's the case, then sab0tender has a really big lead at this point.
Oh, I take that back. Earlier today, we had someone who won, Dracaris won for the last locationers in 1:59:52, so we have seen a sub-2-hour seed. So, almost in sync, Ack gets his 4th crystal and sab0tender gets his 5th.
Yeah, we'll see where sab0tender goes from here. They are pretty close to Skullwood, so they might just head over there first. Which kind of looks like what they're about to do. Was the bomb hut in Kakariko, which is Skullwoods, and after that, might just see them head straight up to Fisan, or they're actually heading into the Dark World, which is interesting. I wonder what sab0tender's plan is here.
I don't know, maybe he wants to see the front of Skullwoods. Maybe he forgot that he has the key?
Yeah, that could be it. He might not be thinking he has a key and wants to go grab one from Skullwoods.
Yeah, that must be what he's doing.
It's not okay. He's checking. This is the first time someone checked the front of Hyrule Castle, I think. It's been accessible for a long time, so it won't be anything super impactful here, though. So small kid Ganon's tower. And Ack is heading back into the portal and probably checking the top of Hyrule Castle too. So he will be finding Eastern here, and Bill will be getting another crystal. So Spiral Cave was in the entrance right next to Desert, where you have to pick up the rock. That's where we have the ice rod.
I'm trying to figure out what sab0tender's doing.
Yeah, I gotta say, I'm a little bit confused with this decision of clearing out stuff that you might not have to do when you could potentially be in go mode.
You never see runners take this entrance. I mean, he seems a little bit tilted, but there's no reason for him to be tilted. You know, he's in a very good position right now, but he doesn't seem to realize it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's gonna be interesting. Definitely gonna ask about this later on and see what his thought process was. So he is mirroring now. Let's see where he decides to go from here. And finishing up Eastern, so he has 5 crystals now as well. So it looks like sab0tender is now heading to the back of Skullwoods. Maybe he's like forgot I played entrance and just tried to go to the vanilla back of Skullwoods or something.
The beauty of half magic, just fire away.
Yeah, it's barely lost any magic. And Ack is, I believe, heading towards Ice Palace here, so maybe not. He is gonna head somewhere else.
Nice quick moth kill there.
Oh, he's gonna do the backup. He's gonna do Tart Rock there. Okay, that makes sense.
Yeah, at this point, you just have a 1 in 3 chance of guessing Turtle Rock versus Swamp versus Thieves, only we don't even know where Swamp is.
Yeah. So if this turns out to be a crystal where Ack is right now, that would definitely swing this race around, and Ack would be in a really good position all of a sudden. They have kind of catched up a lot with each other anyways.
But if I'm sab0tender, I'm thinking I probably want to do Thieves Town and hope that that's the crystal. I forget where Thieves Town is, though.
Thieves Town is up on East Death Mountain. And I guess the fastest way to get there would be to take the Hyrule Castle connector, which is in the dam.
We're about to find out what's in Turtle Rock.
Yeah, if Ack survives this, that is... Okay, there we go.
He's got plenty of life in Blue Mail. Well, now he doesn't have plenty of life.
Moment of truth. It is a crystal. Okay, this changes things. He only needs to finish Ice Palace now.
Wow.
And sab0tender needs to find that Ice Rod. And sab0tender is checking for entrances. So if he continues to do that, he might be able to get to that Ice Rod, but he would have to find it fairly quick.
And I've already forgotten again where that Ice Rod was.
It's in Spiral Cave, which is next to Desert, in that rock that you have to lift up, which normally is the money cave.
Next... Oh, that rock that's kind of near Gary.
Exactly.
Yeah, sab0tender has not been down that way at all. And unfortunately, I think this is going to be the race now that Ack is in Ice Palace.
Yeah, especially since sab0tender is going to clear out Thieves Town here.
Which isn't an unreasonable move, it just happens to be the wrong move.
Yeah, I think it's a good play for sure. It's just going to turn out to, unfortunately, not be the correct one. It's gonna be a really quick trip to Ganon as well after Ice Palace. Ganon was where Magic Bat normally is. So it's just a dash down to Kakariko from here for Ack, and then take care of the pig. He's gonna have Master Sword, so that's gonna make the fight a little bit harder, but he should still be in a very good position to finish before sab0tender at this rate.
We should still see a sub 2 hour.
Yeah, for sure. And sab0tender might be on a sub 2 pace as well.
If he finds the Ice Rod. That's the big question. Because in terms of the Hyrule overworld, he is physically as far from the Ice Rod as you could possibly be.
Yeah, pretty much. So with having to do a Master Sword fight on Ganon, it's kind of nice that Ack does have the half magic and the cape, so that's going to help a lot and to just speed up some of the phases. There's a big key for Ice Palace. So now we're in a logical go mode even.
So, logic required the big key for thieves because it expected you to come down here to get the big key for ice.
Yep. This is why we don't follow logic.
And that is Ackthebocker's 7th crystal. We will now not have a GT big key guessing game, considering both runners have it.
Yep. And we don't even need it. If we didn't know where Ganon was, we could have maybe had like a Where is Ganon game, but we already know that as well.
Oh, yeah, chat's reminding us that the Thieves Town big key is in ice, and the ice big key is in Thieves Town. And sab0tender is now about to be disappointed.
Yeah, this got a sting.
And here's Ganon! Ooh, my favorite message, the spicy barbacoa burrito message.
Oh, Ack got a sword swiping there on Ganon and had to reset his spin.
Takes 12 spins on each of the first 2 phases.
Ooh, and sab0tender, are you heading to get the ice run here?
We can
You're
hope.
heading in the right direction. Oh, I think this is it. It's unfortunately probably a little bit too late, but this is still gonna put sab0tender on the pace to get a really good time on the scene.
Yeah, that would be impressive if, considering we basically haven't seen sub 2 hours, if the losing runner is up sub 2 hours, that's impressive.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, anytime you can sub 2 and cross 12 key sanity, that's really impressive. So sab0tender still doesn't know if this is go mode or not, but is probably gonna act like it is and just see what's in Turtle. Ack has to be a little bit careful here. He has a fairy, so even if it takes a death, he will still respawn. But it's running a little bit low on magic too, but does have the silver, so don't need too much magic on the last phase. And is done with the second phase here, so the most dangerous part is over. Gets one head in, needs 3 more to get a torch glitch as well. This should be a setup for a double potentially. 1 and nope. Okay, needs 1 more. And there it is. Ganon is dead.
There we have it. Get your GGs in chat for Ackthebocker.
Yeah, very impressive run, and from both our runners, really.
So true, Triforce.
Well, at least it wasn't 3 hours.
Yes, or that 4-hour seed that was played out the other day.
And there's Trinex down for sab0tender, so they will be getting their 7th crystal here as well.
And should be a much faster Ganon fight. And let's see if we can get Ack in here. The invite should have been sent. Ah, here we are. Ackthebocker, GG.
GG.
So, what are your thoughts on that seed?
The first, I don't know, 15 minutes were really good, and then the next 50 were really bad. And then, good thing that Turtle Rock was a crystal, because I had convinced myself I had found Swamp, even though I didn't have it marked, and I guess maybe I hadn't found Swamp.
Neither of you found Swamp.
Okay. Well, then I'm really lucky that Turtle Rock was a crystal. I was actually pulling up my VOD as I was killing Trine. That's kind of why my fight was really bad, because I was like, did I see that today? I think I did. I think that's what happens when you play too many races in one day.
That was also, in fact, what made the difference, because you found the ice rod because when you went to the east of desert area, you already had the gloves out of Thieves Town. sab0tender had not been to Thieves Town when he went there, so he didn't have the gloves, so he didn't get the ice rod. But he did get the hammer earlier, so when he went through Ice Palace, he full cleared it, which included getting the Thieves Town big key.
Oh, okay, that was in Ice.
Yeah, so he went back and, just like you went out on a limb and were hoping the 7th crystal was in Turtle Rock, he was hoping the 7th crystal was in Thieves Town, and you happened to win on that one.
That makes sense. Yeah, and then Swamp was the, that was like the intangible there, where I was like, once I got my Swamp Small, I was like, man, it's like, the Thieves Town Big Key would be like ultimate go mode, but I might just be in go mode now. I felt really confident once I got that key. But I shouldn't have, because I never found Swamp. I just made myself believe that I did. Yeah, I dived so many dungeons early. Man, I knew what I was doing was wrong when I had the Pearl. When I did, and I was like, I should just be going for connectors and doing the Dark World. But man, I felt like the item sets were really pushing you to the dungeons that were available, and I just kept getting nothing from them. So it was me trying to read the logic, and it didn't work out.
Yeah, and with that, sab0tender has finished up as well, so get your GGs in. Got 2 sub-2 hour seeds there, or sub-2 hour runs here. It's really impressive.
Yeah. Not much over 4 minutes apart either, so very close in the end, even with sab0tender doing the extra dungeon. So,
Yeah.
But yeah, that was a really back and forth race too. I mean, you guys were doing kind of some of the same, some different checks at the beginning, and then let's put it this way, you didn't use boomerang strats on Ice Armos.
He mentioned that to me. I was really surprised by that.
Yeah. It probably could have gone faster. He was also down to half a heart. I mean, we were worried, like, one more hit and he would have wasted a lot of time. And here we have sab0tender, GG.
Hey, GG the Ray, GG Ack.
GG, man.
That was a heck of a race.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know what else I could have done there. I put it all out there. This is my first sub-2 keys, cross keys race. So, I mean, I really couldn't have done any better than this. So I tried my best, and yeah, that ice rod got me.
Well, let's put it this way. You were both faster than any other runner this week has done across keys.
Well, of course, you know. Being Sabo, I don't, no. This seed was good. This was I think, might be a PB as far as entrance key sanity goes also.
Nice.
Think so. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, it was really fast. Everything was kind of connecting nicely. That Ice Armos fight was a little bit scary. Down to half a heart with the boomerang.
Sorry.
Oh no, it was terrifying, and it was specific instructions from GFE was to not die to Ice Armos, so I made sure I did not.
Oh, because of the last one, I think.
Yeah.
That's really funny.
Yeah, at least you switched to the sword for the last one.
I knew that would work. Yeah.
But no, it really just came down to, as I was saying to Ack, that he happened to find the ice rod, so he went out on a limb and was hoping that Turtle Rock was the 7th crystal, and you happened to find the big key to Thieves Town, so you went out on a limb hoping Thieves Town was the 7th crystal. And
Yeah, I mean, if I had checked that spot, the rock near desert, I would have had that ice rod a lot sooner. And I mean, of course, you make the play. We know where a laser bridge was, right in Kakariko there. So that's a play that you definitely would make. Just quick over to, Trinex, see what he's got. So that definitely would have kind of swung the outcome, I think. But, it happens. Where was that Thieves Town big key we were talking about? Do you guys remember where that was?
it was an ice palace, and the ice palace big key was in Thieves Town.
Okay, there we go.
Yes, chat was very entertained by that combination of logic.
Yep.
No, but yeah, sab0tender, you were actually in the lead for a good chunk of that. You were about 1 crystal ahead for the entire second hour, right up until you wound up going to Thieves Town.
And it felt like it. Everything was just clicking. I was going to places, I was finding the things that I needed and turning that right into, a dungeon dive and, a crystal. So, I mean, it was going so well that I figured there was a chance that Ack was also just nailing it. But yeah, I kind of felt like things were going pretty good.
I mean, they were. It was just one of those luck of the draw situations. It was actually kind of fascinating because neither of you ever found the maps for Swamp, Thieves, or Turtle Rock, so none of us knew which of those 3 was going to be the 7th crystal until you actually went and beat them.
Yeah, that's really exciting, actually. Because, I didn't even know about Hera. I might be a little pessimistic, but I don't know. Every time I defeat a dungeon, especially the first one, I'm always expecting it to be a pendant. And I was like, I just keep getting crystals. And then I'm just sitting here looking at it like, am I in go mode? I mean, I have no idea. The only thing I knew was Pod was a crystal and Ice was a crystal. I had the maps for it, and the dude told me, and that was the only thing I knew. And then everywhere I kept going was a crystal, and it was also like the only dungeons I could complete too. It was very strange that it worked out that way. It usually doesn't.
Well, you both had the map telling you the desert was green pendant.
Oh, right. And then, yeah, you had the desert was green. Never found the guy who would have told me that, though. I never found Saha.
Yeah, no, me either.
Yeah, we didn't see that. We didn't see where the heck Swamp Palace was.
Like, we didn't see, the Mire area at all, did we?
To get to the Mire area, you just had to rescue the old man, and then his home took you to Mire.
I never did that.
There wasn't anything over there.
Interesting. I saved the old man, but then I never went. I never actually saved and quit, and then used the mountain cave as my starting point. So I never realized where the old man was. I kept wanting to do it, but then things kept going my way, so I just thought I never would do it. Cool.
Well, I think I got you was up there to check Aga Tower, but I guess you could have found that with the desert connector too.
Oh yeah.
Oh, and Ack, I'm just noticing your very low collection rate for cross keys.
Yeah, this is pretty low relative to what you normally do. Yeah, I mean, you got how many chests in GT were skipped? I guess 6, 10?
Oh yeah, you never went to right side GT, did you?
I didn't have a key, so I couldn't do it. And in hindsight, the big brain play would have been once you got your cane. I think that was in the Stalfos room. Would have been to, I guess, Death Warp at that time. Man, I had more Death Warps to see than I think I've ever had in my entire life. I had like 10.
We were talking a bit about that. It just ended up being the desert big key over there on the
Oh,
right
okay.
side, and that wasn't really needed for anything.
But yeah, sab0tender handled that by skipping map chest and saving a key that way.
Right.
Oh yeah, that's right. I stood there for a couple of seconds, and I decided not to burn it. Yeah.
That's really smart. I don't know
Wow.
why I did it. I normally don't. But yeah, the no mirror and all of that, it really made routing in the dungeons very painful. This whole the beginning part of the seed. Where'd you get your sword, by the way? Someplace. It was in a chest somewhere.
someplace.
All right.
Yeah,
Cool.
Shovel Spot was the one that Sabo got. That
Oh, the
yeah.
sword and the shovel? Oh. I had just got that shovel. What was it, like an Eastern? It was in the latter part of my checks. At that point, I was already convincing myself I might have been in go mode, so I never went there.
Oh, by the way, I just realized in updating the standings that, Ack, you have clinched 4K fourth and four head a spot in the playoffs with this win, so congratulations on that.
GG's.
I believe you are the first team to clinch a playoff spot, all said.
Cool. All right. That's
and
exciting.
obviously, sab0tender, you guys are still very much in the running for a playoff spot. You're currently still tied for third.
Yeah, definitely. And next week is GFE and P-Train bringing us home. So I'm pretty sure those guys can, take care of business and hopefully get us in as well.
Who are you guys again? Oh yeah, you're against the Titans Myths, which is the team you're tied for third with. So yeah, next week is definitely going to be big for your team.
Oh, dude,
For sure.
next week's going to be awesome. If you guys, we'll be playing the other team that's tied with us too. So that'll
That's gonna be hype.
Yeah, we got
Fendrana
like
Drifters.
1 and 2 and 3 and 4 next week. That's pretty awesome.
Yeah. Well, hey, you're no longer tied with Fendrana Drifters now that you've just won this. Though, of course, if they win their remaining match this week, they'll be tied again with you.
Yeah, it's all right,
But
Cheers,
yeah,
place Brando.
should be some good matches one way or the other.
Oh, somebody asked too. I'm also sitting out. It was very kind of our team to be like, since we're gonna make you play the cross keys, we'll let you sit out the last week, to get your brain back. So I'll be sitting out as well. But yeah, awesome guys. As always, thank you for the restream commentary, tracking, all that good stuff. Sabo, GG, man. Glad we got a good seed.
Yeah.
Yeah, GG to both of you, and this is a good time to mention that you should really follow both of our runners today. I mean, you saw how each of them played. Sub 2 hours, sub 150 collection rate is no mean feat for cross keys. So, really, GG to both of them and give them a follow. As for this tournament, while we're at it, we have 4 more matches coming at you tomorrow. At channels yet to be determined, but most, if not all, should be restreamed on the Speed Gaming family of networks. We have Lin versus Goomba at noon Eastern. We have Dazed Cloud and Duke Firebird, as well as my co-com Walter IV versus Kyong92 at 8 p.m. Eastern. And then we have our tracker, Frostbite 3030 versus Ultima at 10 p.m. So good luck to you guys, Frostbite and Walter.
Yeah, thanks, and good luck to everyone else running tomorrow as well.
So any final words from our runners tonight?
No, I'll just thank you guys again, Drossi, Walter, and Frostbite on tracker duty. Really appreciate it, guys. And I mean, I had a blast running this. I'm glad that I put him into practice and kind of paid off. Even though I didn't win, I put in a really good time, and I'm proud of that. So, and thanks to you guys for putting the show on for us today. So that's about all I got.
Okay, well, GG again. And I think that'll do it for us. I think that this is the last broadcast of the night on any of the speed gaming. No, I'm wrong. There was something added to the schedule. So if you want to see more speed gaming tonight on the main speed gaming channel, we have a Zelda 1 randomizer match that has just gotten underway. So that'll be the final speed gaming run of the evening, if you're still awake and raring for more speed runs. But yeah, GG again. Please do follow the runners and check in for the rest of this Link to the Past League, which has been really cool so far, and we should have some really good matches coming up.